When it comes to dogs, there's no shortage of advice, and a lot of it can be confusing. Should you offer your hand for a dog to sniff when you first meet them? Should you avoid comforting a scared dog because it might make their fear worse? These questions spark debates among dog lovers, but many of the commonly held beliefs are myths. Let's dive into these myths and more, offering some counterintuitive insights that every dog owner should know. The truth about petting a dog's head. One of the first things people do when meeting a dog is to reach out and pat them on the head. It seems like a natural gesture. Dogs love having their ears scratched, right? Well, not always. In fact, putting your hand over a dog's head can be perceived as threatening, especially if you're a stranger. This might lead the dog to become anxious or even defensive. A better approach is to offer your hand from the side, letting the dog sniff it if they choose, and then gently stroke their neck or under their chin. Once the dog feels more comfortable with you, you can explore other spots they enjoy being petted. But always remember, before you get to petting, you need the dog's permission. Should you give dogs people food? Feeding dogs people food is another hot topic. Everyone knows that certain foods like chocolate and grapes are toxic to dogs, but did you know that some human foods can actually be beneficial? Pumpkin, for instance, is great for a dog's digestion. Cheese is a favorite treat among trainers because it's not only delicious to dogs, but also helps keep their attention during training sessions. However, you need to be cautious. If you start feeding your dog from the dinner table, they might begin to beg for food every time you eat. This could lead to some unwanted behaviors, so it's important to discuss with your vet which foods are safe and to decide if you're okay with potentially creating a little begging monster. The debate over greeting dogs when we walk in. We've all done it. Walked into a friend's house and immediately riled up their dog in excitement. But is this really the best approach? It depends on the situation. If your friend is training their dog to stay calm when guests arrive, your enthusiastic greeting could set them back in their training. On the other hand, if their senior dog loves the excitement and it brings joy to both the dog and the owner, then your lively greeting might be just what they want. The key is to ask the dog owner how they prefer you to interact with their dog. Especially when you meet new dogs in public, it's always better to err on the side of caution and respect the wishes of the dog owner. The controversial topic of food bowls. Feeding your dog from a bowl seems like a no-brainer, but it might not be the best option for every dog. Some dogs benefit from being fed through puzzle toys like the Kong Wobbler. These toys make mealtime more challenging, providing a mental workout that can be particularly beneficial for dogs with endless energy. This method not only slows down their eating, but also adds a fun and satisfying element to their routine. However, it's important to consider your dog's individual needs. Puzzle feeding might not be suitable for every dog. Comforting a scared dog, yes or no? This is one of the most debated topics in dog training. Popular trainer Cesar Millen suggests that comforting a scared dog reinforces their fear, making it worse in the long run. However, animal behaviorist Dr. Patricia McConnell argues that this is completely incorrect, stating that you cannot reinforce fear. While petting a scared dog might not always alleviate their fear, some trainers believe that it can offer some comfort. Personally, I find that comforting my dog during thunderstorms or fireworks seems to help him feel a little better. What do you do when your dog is scared? Should you use the dog voice? You know, the voice? The high-pitched, sing-song way people often talk to dogs. It might annoy some people, but dogs seem to love it. A study conducted in England found that dogs respond more positively to the dog voice than to a regular adult voice. They're more likely to pay attention and stay close to the person using the dog voice. So if you've been feeling self-conscious about your cutesy dog talk, don't worry, the dogs appreciate it. Even other people don't. Should you get two puppies at the same time? It might seem like a great idea to get two puppies at once, especially if you want them to have a companion. But most trainers advise against it due to something known as littermate syndrome. When two puppies are raised together, they might bond more with each other than with their owner, making them harder to train and more anxious when separated. Alternatively, as they grow older, the puppies might develop aggression towards each other. If you're thinking about adding a second dog to your family, it's usually better to wait until your first dog is well-trained and mature enough to be a positive influence on the new puppy. Should you brush your dog's teeth? We brush our teeth every day, but what about our dogs? While brushing your dog's teeth daily might seem excessive, studies show that it can lead to healthier teeth. However, let's be honest, not many people actually brush their dog's teeth that often. Fortunately, there are other ways to maintain your dog's dental health. Chew toys and dry kibble can help clean their teeth by scraping off plaque as they chew. Still, it's a good idea to talk to your vet about a dental care plan that works for you and your dog. To spay or neuter, a complex decision. Spaying or neutering your dog is a common practice in many countries, but in places like Norway, it's illegal unless medically necessary. The decision to spay or neuter can have significant implications. While it reduces the risk of unplanned puppies and makes dog parks and daycare less complicated, it can also lead to health issues like joint problems and obesity in some dogs. The decision should be based on your dog's specific needs, so be sure to consult with your vet and do your research before making this important choice. The right way to greet a dog. Finally, let's address the common practice of offering your hand for a dog to sniff when you first meet them. Contrary to popular belief, this isn't always the best idea and can even result in a bite if the dog feels threatened. Instead, let the dog approach you on their own terms. Squatting down to their level and turning your body to the side can make you appear less threatening. If the dog wants to interact, they'll let you know. If they're not interested, it's best to respect their space. Dogs are complex creatures with individual personalities, and there's no one-size-fits-all approach to caring for them. But by understanding these myths and knowing the truth behind them, you can make better decisions for your furry friend. If you want to learn more about how to build a stronger bond with your dog, be sure to check out our next video on 12 scientific ways to get your dog to love you the most. If you love your dog, please subscribe.